Press the button.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Senior State Concierge West Chapter. Our mission is to bridge the gap in the service industry and to connect families with highly trusted, caring service professionals. We use a term called ROSES to remember, but it's R is for resources, O is for options, S is for solutions, E is for education, and the final S is for services. And that is what our vision is all about. Rather than a networking group that requires just one person per category and that type of thing, we have two people for each one of the categories. And I'll pass this around, that there are 65 different categories that we have. We're not a traditional networking group. We're not a chamber of commerce. We're not a social club. Our benefits. Number one is, of course, the trusted service providers. And I can tell you at this time that we are a member of the Better Business Bureau, and the Better Business Bureau has given us a A+ rating because every single member has a background check. When we refer to somebody, they know that they're getting somebody that has been vetted. For the last 2 years, we've actually won or been awarded the Member of Distinction by the Houston Area Better Business Bureau. And primarily that has to do with checking people out because we have no complaints. Opportunity to enhance your business marketing, the monthly area chapter meetings. We have 6 different chapters scattered around Houston. We have a monthly all chapter meeting where we get together all 6 of the chapters. 2 service providers, business marketing through, we've got website, seniorstateconcierge.com. Check it out. We've got social media events, printed material, and education events. I just spoke at the conservatory up in northwest Houston, but we got events going on all the time where we're speaking at. You get to present at the meeting. Every time that we have a meeting, we have a member as the speaker at that meeting. And that member doesn't have to be here yet, but we do have that member speaking. And then in addition to that, we have what we call a case study, and that the member presentation is about 15 minutes, the case study is 5 minutes. They take just one case that they've had and talk about what the problem was and what the solution was and so on for us. Referral between members. I told you we're not a networking company, but as you notice, the first 30 minutes of the meeting is the opportunity to network, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. And then we have some nonprofits, and I'll be talking about those in addition. So, the members generally think that the meeting is all about them, but it's not. The meeting is really about the visitors, because even though the members get to do the network and so forth, make presentations, the visitors are going to get to hear all of the information that we present to these guys, meet the members, introduce themselves, get information, build the trust and rapport, attend the chapter lunches, all chapter lunches, learn how to build their business at the same time that they're helping seniors, and set up one-to-one meetings. So it is about it. So how do we build the chapter? We've got, in this chapter, we have 13 members so far. We just started a couple of months ago, so it's a starting chapter. Normally we want to have about 20, 25, maybe even 30 members in a chapter. So the only way the chapter is going to grow is for the individual members to invite people to come to attend the meeting. And I've done it time and time again. 10% is probably the number. You have to invite 20 people to get 2 people to show up. And it's almost impossible to call 20 people and not have anybody show up. So I always tell people, make that list and do it. So what we do is we find the categories, and you see that on that sheet that's being passed around here. And pick out a category. Generally, it's great to pick one that's kind of associated with you, okay? So I'll use Mac as an example. He's a SRES realtor, and so he have contact with a lot of different contractors, so electrical contractors and handymen, all this type of thing. So that would be the people that he would contact. I tell people, just go to Google or Yelp or go to Chat GPT and just ask the question, who are the top, this is a list of CPAs, who are the top CPAs in West Houston? And that deal with seniors. And here's, whatever it is, 3 or 4 pages. This is the list that comes out. And it gives me the address so that I verify that they are in this area. And it gives me the phone number to call. And then the next thing you do is you make that phone call and you ask, who's the best person at your company to speak to our group about what they do, helping seniors and their families? And you find who that person is, and you invite that person to the meeting. Very, very simple operation. And then be sure that you follow up with the individual. Networking events are another example. Andy, who you guys have met here, I met at a networking event yesterday. and we had some rapport built, and then found out that he was dealing with seniors and their families, and so he's here today. The other thing that is very important is your clients or your customers or the people that already know would be good members are probably the best people to invite. So, this is a list of the, I don't have Bill Graff on here, he's the 13th member, but anyway, this is in individuals. This is a member category. So I said Mac was a SRES realtor, and his prospect category is the individuals that ask for references from him every single day. Okay. So this has been sent out to all of the members, and they're getting started on that. What I'm going to do for the members is to send them their first 20 members. So they'll know the first 20 prospects, so they'll know who to contact. Okay, let me back up one. One-to-one sessions. Everybody know what a one-to-one session is? Come on in. Okay.
Change the mind.
This is just a meeting. This is not what it's about. What it's about is when you set up a session, one-to-one, where you can learn about that other person in detail and build the trust and rapport and so on. That's the important part of what we're doing with these meetings, okay? So, you want to at the meeting, all these things, you'll do these. I'll send this to you so you have it, but discuss referrals at that one-to-one meeting. And you have to be specific. Not the realtor that says, anyone that wants to buy or sell a home would be a good referral for me. Too broad. You bring it down specifically. I'm looking for Carolyn Ortega who wants to sell her home. Set the time, date, location for the next meeting, so you always plan ahead. And you want to schedule at least one-to-one meeting a week with people. This is a matrix, and I will give that to you. And what happens, can I use you, Susan?
Sure.
Thanks. This is Susan.
That's Susan.
In red. And she wants to meet with David. Oh, she scheduled a meeting there on the 1st. And then the next person she's going to meet with is Colin. Colin is a new member. He's unable to be here today. When he checked with the doctor yesterday, the doctor said, you've got COVID. And so it's pretty mild. I'm sure you'll be okay. All right, so she scheduled him next. And then here's Don Fruin. She said, right on down the line. Now, don't pay any attention to that particular order. You decide how you want to do it, but I will give you this format. You'll have every single person that is a current member, the 13 current members right now, and you'll be able to start scheduling out times for them. The next step is when you check in as a member with the QR code, it will ask you, who did you have the one-to-one meetings with? So you'll be able to keep track of everything that happens. Okay, that's the form that I'll send you. Shamika is not here. Shamika is our featured speaker today, and she may show up a little bit later, we'll see. But I'm going to move on to our case study, and our case study is Mac McCullough. Mac, would you come on up and share with us?
Got water coming through that door. Anyone walking down?
We need a
there?
contractor.
Huh?
We need a contractor for the door.
Well, I have two contractors coming today, and I'll tell you honestly, both of them I talked to, called this morning to make sure they were coming. They said, Mac, we just had a storm. The odds of me getting anywhere, they're doing 714s right now. They're not getting anywhere if it's not an absolute emergency call out. It's not happening. So maybe next week. Okay, so I have a client I met with yesterday. Okay, they are, well, we're gonna call them Roy and Tina Smith. All right. They have a home over here in West Memorial. It's probably, I did a little CMA on it, probably selling the 315 to 330 range, minus realtor fees, closing costs, etc. When they sell it, and then paying off their mortgage, they'll probably net about 282. Okay. The youngest of the two of them is 67 years old. So what I recommended for them was a HECM for purchase. We ran a workup on them. For those that don't know what a HECM for purchase is, it's a reverse mortgage to purchase a house. Okay, it is basically what we call I call a reverse of a reverse. All right. So we looked at the Beezer homes online, and I made an appointment for this Saturday for them to go and look at the Beezer. Beezer is one of my favorite builders for my seniors. They are extremely well insulated. They're the ones with the chocolate bunny in the attic all the way through the summer that never melts. Okay. Energy costs are down around 90 for a 1700 square foot up, around $90 a month. Okay. So basically for when they net 282, 285, what could they actually buy for that and set them up, to go mortgage free into the future? Not much. Nothing. I mean, bottom line is we all know the market here for 282, and now you got to back out that closing cost for purchase and whatever. So they're actually probably looking at 220, 240. What can you buy for 220, 240? Yeah, nothing out there for them. So what the Heckle for Purchase does is it's limited for people that are 62 and older. The youngest person in it has to be 62. Okay, it allows them to purchase a home for between 67 and 43% down. It's actually based on age, on an amortization table, not on credit score. Credit score really doesn't matter that much. There will be a credit bureau pulled to make sure that you're not behind on taxes, to make sure that you're not behind on any government debts, HOA fees, etc. But the score itself is actually quite immaterial. The income is almost quite immaterial. There is a standard there, but we'll get to it. The bottom line is you put a certain amount down between 43 and 67% based on your age. Typically gotten from the sale of the home, but it could come from a wealth account. Okay, and then you never have a mortgage payment that you have to make for the rest of your life. Okay, it is a reverse mortgage for the purchase of a home. HECM, HECM, Home Equity Conversion Mortgage, is the government version of reverse mortgages. Reverse mortgages have been around since the 60s. The horror stories you've heard and this, that, and the other thing, a lot of them are myths, but a lot of them are true, but they're true for the proprietary products. The HECM is the government product, okay? So if you look at, say, a conventional loan versus a VA loan, the government has a lot of protections for the veteran there in the VA loan. The government's not the lender, but they have all the protections. Same way with reverse mortgage. With a HECM, you have all the government protections to make sure that senior is absolutely covered every single way. I do seminars on this once a month. The next one is this Saturday, or not this Saturday, August 3rd, first Saturday of the month. You can go to askmacteam.eventbrite.com, askmacteam.eventbrite.com to register for it. And it's about an hour. I have a leading industry expert there with me that goes through the entire thing. It takes about an hour, and then we leave it's scheduled for an hour and a half, but we leave a half an hour for questions and answers, socializing, and eating donuts and tacos and stuff like that. Okay. So anyway, they came to me yesterday. We figure we're gonna get about 282, okay, 285 net. That actually allows them to purchase a $400,000 home and never have a payment that they have to make. The other thing about this is, okay, well, say they have extra money they wanted to put into it. Okay, so it'd be 282 that they would have to come up with, about 140. That would be the HECM reverse mortgage. Say they had an extra 139, okay, and they wanted to pay more of it. So let's say they're financing only $1,000. That's 7%. I'm just gonna pull numbers out of my rear end here, okay? But they've got $140,000 that they overpaid. They didn't have to pay that much. That goes into a line of credit. It actually does reduce the mortgage balance, okay? All the way down to $1,000, okay? That's owed. But that money, that line of credit, grows at the exact same interest rate as what they're paying on the loan. So in this case, say they did a $401,000 loan. They got $140,000 in overpayment, if you want to think of it that way. So they're only paying 7% on $1,000, but they're earning 7% on $140,000. It is not income. It does not affect Medicaid. It does not affect Social Security. It is not income. It is loan proceeds. It is not taxed. Okay. So this is now with a HECM. You still HECM for purchase. You still have to pay the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, and the HOA fees. Well, guess what? If you went and bought a house cash, you got to pay property taxes, homeowner's insurance, and HOA fees, or the government will come and take the house from you. Okay. So this is for the mortgage only. Now, this is not a no payment loan. It is a payment optional loan. If so, say you've got a 7% If you wanted to pay 7% a year, you just pay the interest only. That preserves all 100% of your equity. And if you got a line of credit that's drawn you can actually offset all of that. You can use the line of credit monies to pay your property taxes, your HOA, etc. So we're going out Saturday morning. We're going to look at a Beazer Duet. It's about 1,600 square feet. They can get into one for about $340. Got with 282 down, they can do 400. Actually, so if they're in at 340. Now they can put a whole house generator in there. Now they can add money to the line of credit. The money earned from the line of credit is offsetting your property taxes and offsetting your HO fees, etc. So bottom line is they can now be in a brand new home, already configured for seniors with all the aging in place amenities that you need, the extra wide doorways, the railings, et cetera. Pay no money if they won't. Now, another feature of this is leading economists have said that this particular program, the H4P, the Heckler for Purchase, makes your wealth account properly managed last between 37 and 47% longer. So if we have a COVID type event, or we have a terrorist attack, we all know what's going to happen to the stock market and your wealth accounts, right? I mean, they're going to drop right away. Well, if you're pulling from that, even just doing a mandatory distribution that happens at age 70, 71, if you're pulling from that and for income, and all of a sudden you have one of these events, now that stock that you're selling, that you were selling at $100 a share to pull from, is now trading at 50 a share. It's costing you a lot of shares in order to keep that same income going. Well, what a lot of wealth managers, financial planners advise is if you've got this line of credit, you pull from that for a few months until the price goes back up. Then you sell those stocks and replenish. So by using it as a buffer, you can actually have your wealth accounts, 401ks, IRAs, etc., last between 33 and 47% longer. Okay. So, like I said, there's much more of this than I can do today. I'll let you know what goes on with Tina and Roy. But bottom line is they're looking forward to being in a, because the house they're in now needs a roof, it needs piping, it's got a foundation crack. And when you know, bottom line, if it were a perfect house, I'd sell it for much more. We're in the whatever. But they can get a brand new house that can actually take them 15, 20, 25 years into retirement. Common misconception is that, you know, reverse mortgage, when they get out of it, die, sell it, that the company takes their house. That is not the true statement. It is, you've got equity and you've got debt. And when you sell the house or you pass and the house moves on, when you sell the house, the equity goes to the heirs or to yourself, and the debt gets paid off. And it's just, there's a reason those stories, and we cover that in the seminar, how those stories got around and what they actually are. So I encourage everybody to come August 3rd. It's on 920 South Fry Road, just a mile up the road here. Seating is limited. I do cap the number of people that come because at 20. Because quite honestly, a great deal of discussion occurs, different ways that you can use this for different things. Do I have to buy a house? No, I can buy a ranch, I can buy a condo, I can buy a fourplex, have no payment on that fourplex, live in one of them, rent the other three out, and have another income stream. There's a lot of things we can do with this. We go through it all. I've done the 60, 65 people in a seminar, and quite honestly, it's just too much bedlam. So I do cap. I'd rather do more of these at between 10 and 20 people where you can have good discussions and get things going. I encourage you all to sign up for it. Reservations are required because I do provide food and we need to keep a cap on it. So that's ASKMACTEAM, AskMac Team, all one word, .eventbrite.com, August 3rd, 10:30 in the morning to noon. Come on out and see us, and by then I'll know what happened with Tina and Roy, and I'll be able to tell you.
All right, let's do that. Big hand. Thank you. Very informative. told you we've just been in operation here for several months. And I was the chapter leader at the central chapter that meets at the village of Tanglewood for several years. And I wanted to get a chapter started in the West Houston area. So I turned over the central chapter to we actually have two people that help run the chapter. We call them a leader and a co-leader, or both co-leaders, however you want to term it. And so we have been looking for the member of the West chapter to kick me out again, okay? where I can go on to another job. I'll probably say as a member at this one. So Bill Graff is the founder of the Senior State Concierge and makes the final decision on it. But he and I met with an individual here several weeks ago, and so that individual is going to be the new chapter leader here, and I'm going to introduce him to you. It's Chris Liebum, the financial advisor for Income Insurance Agency. I'll tell you just a little bit about him. You see okay, Sue?
I do, thank you. I see.
His ideal referral, of course, is seniors and their families. The top problem he solved is that income when they reach that retirement age. The ideal referral partner are the opportunities to speak to groups like our group or many other groups. The top product, of course, is the financial plan. Now, he's also a member, and has been for some time, of BNI Katy, which I think still is the largest BNI organization in the Houston area, and they've got about 50 or so chapters.
Well, chapters?
Yeah, how many?
About 40 chapters.
40 chapters, I'm sorry.
We got 55 members.
Okay. And he's co-author of a book. I'm going to grab it here. It's my copy. It's complicated. And this will give you all the information that Chris has about everything from Medicare, the Social Security, the financial planning aspects. Great book, so be sure to get a copy of that. And I didn't tell you, but 5.5 years ago, there were 8 of us that gathered in a room with Bill Graff, and we formed the Senior State Concierge. Chris Liebum was one of those 8 members that helped form this. So he's now the new leader of Senior State Concierge. Chris, why don't you just stand up and I didn't ask him to give a big presentation, but
Well, okay.
come on up and.
Yeah, 50 pages right here.
Oh, I got the page mark. Okay.
So, I can go over the window, right? So, my name is Chris Liddum. Met Gail back in 2005. I was looking for a BNI group to get involved with. Well, there was a new one starting down there, I-10 and Highway 6.
Right.
So there's 3 of us that started the group. A realtor, mortgage person, myself, and all 3 of us would sit around a little cafe table and get this group started. Well, we grew that chapter to be a successful chapter. Later merged into another chapter there. I moved my office out here to the Katy area, so I moved to started the Parkway Business Partners BNI chapter that meets on Wednesday mornings at Rudy's Barbecue. I was the president there for the first couple of years. We grew that from 0 to 38 members. We overtook Katy chapter at that time. Our mission statement was to be bigger and better than Katy, and we succeeded. I transitioned my business from a property and casualty agency. I've always been in financial services, but I was in BNI's property and casualty. So with that, we already had a member in there that was a financial advisor, Robert Bruns, good friend of mine, and actually my business partner now. So I left the Parkway chapter so I could seek out another B&I chapter where I could be the financial advisor. One morning I got a call to be a sub at Katy chapter. That's the day the financial advisor retired from the group. I was like, I'm in, sign me up. That was like 7 years ago. They asked me when I'm leaving, and I said, when they put me in a box and carry me away and let me 69. But financial advising is a passion of mine, to work with clients. I was Dave Ramsey endorsed local provider for a couple of years, working with people. So of course, they heard Dave Ramsey talking about, saving for retirement, debt, things like that. I was able to help a lot of people with their debt, get past that, start saving for retirement. Got one particular couple, they came in, they were in debt up to here, and now they have, the only debt they have is like rental houses, but they've been saving. They weren't putting anything inside the 401k account. Now they're saving maximum in there. Now they're on track to have a great retirement. So it's great to see stories like that. Like I was talking to Susan earlier, I do late stage college financial aid planning. To help kids that they've gotten to be seniors in high school, juniors and seniors, trying to decide how they're going to pay for college. Look at the parents that are looking at these price tags on schools. How do we get around this? So I do FAFSA planning and scholarship searches with the families to help guide them in this process. My mother, she had Alzheimer's dementia. My mother-in-law had Alzheimer's. So I'm very familiar with places like this. They didn't stay here at this facility, but my mother-in-law was at the one across from the Cinco Ranch Library over here. My mother was in one up in there in Fort Worth. Very sad places to be. So, I do a lot of work in that area with long-term care insurance, retirement planning, planning out your assets. Long-term care is the biggest unfunded liability you have in your retirement plan. You don't have enough money probably saved up to cover a long-term care cost. Average long-term care period is going to be about 3 years, somewhere on average around 80 years old. And in today's dollars, it's going to cost you about $9,000 a month to live in a place like this. That's in today's dollars. Do some math on that with inflation. Now, healthcare inflation goes up about 6%. Average inflation is about 3%, except for the last couple of years, right? So you can only imagine what healthcare expense is. If we went 8% last year with inflation, healthcare, who knows, might be 20. You look at the cost of medications like that. So, helping out families make a plan there, sitting down with, couples like I did yesterday to help build a plan. Actually, I talked to a couple yesterday about the reverse mortgage. Sitting there looking at their situation. They hadn't saved a whole lot for retirement, have a lot of debt, trying to figure out how to get out of it. So how much equity they had in their house, and they told me, I go, have you ever looked at the reverse mortgage? Well, what's that? How does that work? So I gave them the basics on that, how those work. So that might be the option for them to move towards. So as a financial planner, you're just kind of listening to, it started out as a Social Security conversation. When should we start taking Social Security to just evolving into something else that's more important? Social Security, I do Social Security optimization. So I sit down with couples that are in their late 50s, early 60s to help decide when to take Social Security. The average person chooses Social Security at the wrong time. They may miss out on average about $146,000 in benefits over their lifetime because they chose Social Security at the wrong time. A lot of people take it at 62. I'm afraid they're going to run out of money. I need to take the money now. Well, it may work for them, but I do an analysis on that. So, like Gail said, back during COVID, since we didn't have anything else to do, right? Except sit at home, wear a mask, and get over here on the screen. So didn't have anything else to do, so I got with a friend of mine. She owns a funeral home in Michigan. So we co-wrote this book together called It's Complicated. Yeah, it's simple, but we crossed out simple, right?
Keep going.
Thank you. So, it's about, Medicare, long-term care, estate planning, So Caroline is actually, her name is Sally in the book. We've got a storyline that goes through the book. So there's a variety of people in the book here. We got a senior real estate specialist in there. His name happens to be Bill Graff, Bill in the book. So I was the financial advisor working with Russ and Yvonne. So I was having lunch one day at a restaurant in the book with my business partners, my estate planning lawyer, my senior real estate specialist, my home health care specialist, and Russ and Yvonne came in and I introduced them to my business professionals. Well, they were going to downsize their house in the book here. Well, Bill came in and helped them downsize from their home to their new condo. Russ is starting to have Alzheimer's and dementia issues. Matt came in and sold that house and moved into the condo there. They brought in Mac's reverse mortgage specialist. They got him to heck him for purchase on that condo there. So they freed up some assets to help take care of Russ's Alzheimer's and dementia needs as far as the care costs and things like that to help out. So this carries it right through, and then we carry it right into after passing. So after the Russ and Yvonne passed, what happened then? We got into pet planning. Pets, there's a lot of pets left behind after people pass. There's thousands of pets every year. So what happens to that pet? So have a pet estate plan for the pet. So kind of get into a lot of the different factors in this book. It's 238 pages long. You may need a cup of coffee to read it. So, but that was my passion. This is what I do, and I love what I do, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Let's give Chris a big hand. I'm really looking forward to Chris taking over here.
I bet you are. I'm afraid to bring that up.
Now, I'll still be a member for a while. By the way, one of Chris's and I guess my responsibilities is going to be to select a co-leader to help him with this job. So, his contact information. Now we do the member introductions, and I guess we'll skip Chris because he's introduced himself. But this is a 30-second, I call it a one breath introduction that we do, and we've only got Chris and Caroline and Susan here with us. But I'm going to swing this around, Mac, and let you give us a 30-second introduction.
Good morning, David McAuliffe, everyone calls me Mac. Seniors real estate specialist and real estate planner, planning all aspects of your real estate, 1031 exchanges, Delaware statutory trusts, probate, regular trusts, and of course senior resources like the heck purchase.
Caroline?
I'm Caroline Ortego with Ortego and Urick. We do probate, we do estate planning, we do some Medicaid consultation, and we just help people, whether they have minor children at home or they're trying to get into the next stage of life and figure out what's going on next. And we work with a lot of professionals like Chris and Matt and Susan as well.
Thank you. All right, and Susan?
Hello, good morning. I'm Susan Salmon. I am with Always Best Care. Our company is focused on non-skilled in-home care to help out those seniors living at home needing what I call help getting through the day. We do have an RN on staff, so we are licensed as home health care because we do RN delegated duties. Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes people ask me what I do. I'm involved with the Senior Estate Concierge because I am a certified wellness coach. And that means that I help seniors live longer, healthier lives through a combination of nutrition, supplementation, physical activity, we used to call that exercise, stress management, memory improvement, and many other facets of that aspects. So, most important thing I think, and most people think, that is to seniors is their health. So that's what we focus on. Now, next we do the introduction of the guests, and that's actually last at our last meeting. That was a guest that we had here. So this was right what's on the list here. But at this meeting, I want to ask Andy if you would introduce yourself.
Cool, perfect. Hi, my name's Andy Nam. I'm with the company Chronically Healthy Life, and I am a functional nutrition longevity coach. And my passion is letting people know that aging doesn't mean the same thing as getting old. A lot of people think that getting old, you automatically get all these chronic conditions, you get frail, you get weak, and you get Alzheimer's, diabetes, and all these big things that you automatically get. And for me, it's like just educating people that helping them with nutrition, helping them elevate their stem cells, helping them get rid of toxins, going through the blood tests, like blood labs of what's functional, what's deficient. I can help them narrow down how we can help them reverse age.
Very good. Thank you. And Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan Raveno. I'm the publisher of the Katy Times, and I'm here for a couple of reasons. One is to tell stories to our audience. So if there are interesting stories that you have, as Chris shared with me about a bike ride this weekend I didn't know about, those are the kinds of things we want to share with our readers in the greater Katy area. For you as business people, my job is to bring you eyeballs. If you want to reach seniors who are reading a print product so that you can market directly to them, then I would recommend our weekly newspaper, which comes out on Thursday. If you're interested in reaching the children of those seniors, I would recommend a digital product, such as katytimes.com. And that holds true really not only for the Katy Times, but across pretty much all media. Print products skew a slightly older audience, digital products skew a slightly younger audience. That allows you to tailor your message to properly market your goods and services. Again, Susan, the Katy Times.
Good. Thank you so much, Susan. Now, wait a minute. I referred Andy to the meeting. And he's in the wealth among the wealth. Gotta correct that one.
Health is wealth.
The health
Health is wealth.
and wellness and longevity business, just like you are. Isn't that competition? Let me tell you something, folks. This is not about a competition. This is about the things that we can learn from each other and share and help build the organization. So just because you're the only, and well, Susan's not the only individual. We have two people that are at the in-home non-medical care. So we can have more than one person. We can have two people in that category. So I want to tell you just a little bit about a couple of the charities we'll be involved in more, but one of them is the Alzheimer's Association. And most of you are very familiar with them. Some of you, like my wife, have probably been on the Alzheimer's walks and so on, the fundraising and all that aspect of it. And this is it's a terrible disease. Andy can tell you some things that may help delay or prevent that happening to you. The other one is the Twilight Wish. Everybody's familiar with the Wish Foundation for the kids, okay? Well, Twilight Wish is a foundation for the seniors. And what we do is we help raise money, and then we find seniors that have different types of wishes. One of them was featured on the local TV station here. You see a picture right there. But in World War II, this fellow crashed his airplane in Italy and survived. But every year the town has a celebration for this situation, and he never got to come. And his wife wanted to come. And so, with the money that we raised, we sent her and her friends over to the city that hosted that event over there. We had a couple of ladies that had never been to a national baseball day. And we sent them on a trip to the Astros to see a game. So things like this is just helping the seniors out. Actually cover the open categories, and as you know, we got 65 different categories there. But we're asking the members, and the visitors can also do this, but recommend people to help us fill these open categories. So I want to thank each and every one of you for attending, and Chris, this is your cue again.
Push the button.
Just a minute. Got a couple of things we want to cover. One is, who would like to be the member speaker at the next meeting? Let's see. You've spoken.
I have.
And
I,
you've been a case study.
yeah, we had a case study last
But will you be the speaker at the next
Sure,
meeting?
sure.
Okay,
Do
so
you have a
Caroline will be the
preferred
next speaker, and then we need the case study. Susan, would you take this case study?
Of course.
Okay, so it's going to be Caroline and Susan. Okay, now, next meeting, go ahead, Susan. Next meeting will be on